Alright, I just wanted to make this video about RIT PR 2022 full predictions and what I think the PR is going to look like at the end of the year. By the way, I totally stole this idea from Huntsman. Go check out his channel, Huntsman. I think it's Huntsman SSB on YouTube. Super nice guy. Love his videos. Hope he keeps making videos. But yeah, definitely check out his he had one for Smash Toberfest and one for SmashCon. This kind of format, his predictions. I thought they were pretty entertaining, so thought I'd do it for the Rochester PR for this semester. So, all right, let's get into it. First thing I'm gonna do is talk about the top 10. And for number one, no, no, Waxy might not like this when he watches the video, but I'm a Rochester believer, and I'm going with Bob Knoosh. All right. Now, last semester, clearly there's a big, I wouldn't say there's a huge gap, but there's a little bit of a gap. He was definitely number one. He was playing really good last spring. Think he had a pretty good Smash Con getting D3, getting up to D3 pools. He's been pretty strong so far, getting second at frame, only losing to Raichu. Now is a really, really close set. Um, he almost brought it back, but ended up losing 3-2. I think that if he keeps up what he's doing right now, I mean, his Falcon is looking good. I can't lie. Um, Waxy did win the first bi-weekly, but I think that the fact that he got second at frame kind of says something too. But him and Waxy are pretty contentious, I would say. But if Bobby Knoosh can keep up what he's doing right now, I think he's on track to get first again. Now for the number 2 spot, gotta go with Waxy. Gotta go with Waxy Joe. And his puff was looking pretty good. The first bi-weekly, he showed up hot to trot and just won the whole thing. He did pretty good at frame. He lost to Raichu and then Bob Ganoush beat him. So he got third at that. So definitely another good result. He's been pretty consistent so far. Looking forward to playing him. Just he's going to UB now for college, so it's nice to have him in Buffalo, come up to Rochester often. And I'm going to be excited to see him at CT13 and the bi-weeklies coming up. Now, number 3. This might be a little high to some people, might be a little biased. Definitely is biased, but I'm going to put myself. Alright, listen. I think I've improved. I've been grinding uh, Yoshi Puff, Falcon all the time. Doing some VOD reviews, trying to improve. I think at third might be a little high to some people, but I think it's fair. And I want to show people what I'm made of this semester. Can't lie. I had a pretty okay frame. I got fifth, which is good. I lost to Elu and then Baba Kanoosh. Get out at fifth. Um, I did pretty good at the first bi-weekly we had. Which I got fourth, and then the next one I got second, where I actually took a set of Baba Ganoush. So I think that I'm looking pretty strong. If I can keep improving, keep it up, grind it out, I think there's a fair placement. Now fourth, definitely gotta give it to Elu. Now Elu could definitely be higher. I think some people might think this is a little low. Maybe Elu should be third, maybe even second. But their Yoshi has been pretty solid so far. We've definitely traded some sets. They beat me at frame. I beat them twice at TPG 67. And I think their Yoshi is looking strong. I would say that they're having a little bit of trouble getting in. I think they mentioned that, and maybe being patient sometimes. But I think their Yoshi could definitely. I mean, their punish game is on point, and with that, I think Elu definitely be fourth, maybe even higher. Fifth, I'm gonna give it to Jello. Now, Jello's kind of going between characters right now, so that might be why they're a little bit lower. But I think their Fox is looking good, and then they're trying to pick up Yoshi. I think Yoshi has a pretty tough learning curve. But if Jello can grind out Yoshi, get him up to speed, could be deadly. I'm not sure. That character is very, very strong if you can use them right and be effective with Yoshi. So I'm gonna go with Jello at fifth. I think they're looking pretty good. Did really good at frame getting fourth, and been pretty good at the bi-weekly so far. So good stuff to Jello. Now sixth, I'm gonna go with the young gun Schickler. Now Schickler's got pretty nasty puff. He's got some crazy rests. He's good with the confirms, and he knows what to do. I do think he can be a bit of an aggressive puff at times, but that might not always work in his favor. But he kind of plays that playstyle pretty well, I would say. His punish game is pretty sweet. So if he can keep things up, I think he could be six, possibly even better. It is a little hard to rank him because he doesn't come out to as many events as other people, so that's why I have him at sixth. But he, I think he can take sets off any player here. I mean, he's done it before, except him and Waxy have never played, I don't think. Maybe, but Waxy would probably go Pika instead. So that might be a little bit tough. Now, I'll say this. So these top six are definitely gonna be in the top six. That's what I think. I think that the order that these players are in could change around, but I think these players will be solidly all in the top six. After this, it gets a lot more contentious who it could be, but me personally, for this seventh place spot, I gotta give it to Toby. Toby's been pretty consistent so far at the bi-weeklies. Kirby's looking good, probably our premier Kirby main, solo Kirby. He's got a good he's getting better at recovering, I think, and kind of his punish game. He used to, I mean, sometimes it still comes out, but he would choose some weird options like down smash a lot. I don't see that as much anymore. Recovery looking better. He knows how to mix up his recovery. Other Kirby's that go here, not so much. But think Toby's Kirby's looking good, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Maybe even take some sets off some of these players. I'd be excited to see that. Now the eighth place spot, gotta give it to Caleb, also known as Crossover. He had a pretty good frame taking a win off J-Boss that I didn't really expect, to be honest. He's also another Kirby main, solo Kirby. Um, he has a pretty good understanding of Kirby's kind of flow chart. I think he does have some trouble recovering. Sometimes he kind of puts himself into a loop. I think he can be kind of predictable. But if he could kind of fix some of those issues, I think his Kirby could do some work for sure. Now, number nine. It's going to be everybody's favorite player, J-Boss. Now, J-Boss recently picked up Pikachu for Kirby, and because 99% of the time in this kind of zone, you're playing against Kirby's, he's been playing a ton of Pika. And I think he's got a pretty good understanding of some of Pika's neutral, kind of what to do situationally. One thing I think he does need to improve on is the up Bs. I think him and one of the other Pika players here they just get really good at those up Bs. I mean, they're just gonna live for way longer, and they're just gonna make their stocks way better. And I think if he gets that down, he could definitely do some work on these Kirby's, and I could see him even potentially being eighth, maybe even seventh over Toby. Whoops. All right, 10th place. Now this is a player that I think in the spring might go way up. For now, I'm gonna say Sled. Now, Sled's Falcon has been, in my opinion, looking pretty good. He's got a good understanding of some of the standard combos, what to do as Falcon, good at using the R button. You know, if you have a Falcon player, maybe a friend, you know, things aren't going so good for him, just tell him to press R. Might change his life. But I think Sled's Falcon's looking pretty good. He's got good fundamentals from Ultimate, and he didn't have the best frame. I think he got upset a little bit by Zania, but recently, in the past two tournaments, he's been looking pretty good. And if he keeps it up, might even go even higher. And I think in the spring, he's going to be looking good because I think he mentioned to me that in the fall he might not enter as much, but definitely in the spring. So I'm excited to see what comes out of the sled. Now for hidden bosses, I'm going to put down Raichu. Now, Raichu is confirmed for 2 events so far. He came to Frame, which he won, and then CT13, which is going to be a big event. We have Janko, Revan, Waxy, and Raichu. Box, confirmed, maybe. I'm guessing Box is going to bring Ace too. I mean, so possibly Ace coming too, is my guess. But yeah, Raichu's been looking pretty good. I love Ness. I'm a Ness believer. Kind of how like Huntsman's a Fox believer, but he did pretty good at frame 11 getting first. I mean, not pretty good. I mean, he just won the whole thing. He did great at SmashCon getting 17th, and he is the player to beat in this kind of region right now. So I'm excited to see what he brings at CT13. I think he's looking pretty good, and if he enters one more event, I would place him at first if he enters one more event. I would place him at first in the PR. HMs, I got Coda. Another one I have is Conceit. Now, Coda's another Pika main. They've been doing pretty solid in the bi-weeklies, getting around 9th, I think. I think if they can get some of the uppies down and get some more good ones, I think things could be looking good for them. Conceit is a Kirby main. He is not currently attending RIT. He's not in the Rochester area. Did come out for Frame. Had a pretty good tournament. Getting 9th. I think he's got another solid Kirby, solo Kirby. I think it would be possible for him to be in the PR for sure. I think he had some good ones there. Uh, so I think he could definitely do some damage here if he was up in Rochester, but he's not here unfortunately. So I don't think he's gonna make the three bracket requirement to get ranked. But he will be one of my honorable mentions because I think he's a pretty good Kirby. So that's my ranking. The semester is looking to be good. I'm excited for Crouching Tigers 13. It's going to be an awesome tournament. Excited for Apex. I think we're going to go. So hopefully those tournaments go well for me. Pretty excited for this PR2. I think I'm going to do really good this semester. I'm pretty excited to see what Babaknoosh, Waxy, Elu, Jello, Schickler, and everyone else bring to the table. I think it'll be a really competitive semester. So definitely excited for that. Alright. I'll see you next video, and thanks for watching.